I'm Teresa, 39. The harsh fluorescent lights cast a cold glow over the mahogany conference table I'd bought from a garage sale 15 years ago. It stood there, a silent witness to the drama about to unfold. Around it sat my husband Ethan's entire family, their faces contorted with barely hidden glee. "Let's get this emergency board meeting started," boomed my father-in-law, Henry Thompson, puffing out his chest like a peacock. "We're here to discuss the future leadership of Solace Technologies." I sat quietly at the far end of the table, the seat they'd relegated me to, watching this farce unfold. Ethan sat between his parents, avoiding my eyes. "The motion before us," Henry continued, his voice dripping with arrogance, "is to remove Teresa Thompson as CEO and install a more qualified candidate. She's just a housewife who got lucky." My brother-in-law, Lucas, chimed in. Right place, right time when Ethan's app took off. "But running a tech company? Come on." My sister-in-law, Olivia, quickly added, "No offense, Teresa, but you don't even have a business degree. You were making handmade candles on Etsy when Ethan met you." I felt my blood boil, but I remained calm. I pulled out my phone and sent a quick text to my assistant, Jake. "Now, please." "All in favor of removing Teresa as CEO?" Henry asked, his hand shooting up first. One by one, the hands rose. Ethan's went up last, slowly, but it went up. "Motion carries," Henry announced triumphantly. "Now for the new CEO I nominate." Suddenly, everyone's phones buzzed simultaneously. Lucas pulled out his phone, his face paling as he read. I watched as they all checked their messages, confusion replacing the smugness on their faces. Jake had sent them the original company registration documents from 15 years ago. The incorporation papers, the patent filings, the founder's name on every single document. Teresa Miller. Not Teresa Thompson. Not Ethan Thompson. Teresa Miller. "I don't understand," Olivia stammered. "This says the company was founded in 2009, but Ethan and Teresa only met in 2016. "That's correct," I said calmly, speaking for the first time. "I founded Solace Technologies 7 years before I met your son. Before I married into this family, before I was, as you put it, just a housewife who got lucky." Henry's face turned an alarming shade of purple. But Ethan said. I turned to my husband, who was studying the table like it held the secrets of the universe. That it was his idea, his company, his success. Silence filled the room. I stood up and said, "Perhaps we should discuss what really happened since we're having a board meeting and all." I walked to the presentation screen and connected my laptop. The first slide showed a photo of me from 2009, hair in a messy bun, surrounded by computer parts in my studio apartment. 2009, I'm 22, fresh out of MIT, with a computer science degree. Yes, Olivia, I have a degree, just not in business. I'm working 3 jobs to pay off student loans and coding at night. I clicked to the next slide. Patent applications. In 2010, I developed the compression algorithm that becomes the foundation of Solace Technologies. The patent is in my name only. I clicked through slides showing the company's early days. Me at hackathons. Me pitching to investors who laughed at the young Asian woman with big dreams. Me sleeping under my desk because I couldn't afford rent and office space. 2011 through 2015. Bootstrapping, building every line of code in our core product. I wrote it. Every client pitch in those early days. I gave it my all every single day. The room was dead silent. In 2016, a photo appeared of Ethan and me at the tech conference where we met. I meet Ethan at TechCrunch Disrupt. Solace is finally gaining traction. We have actual employees, real clients. Ethan is charming, supportive. He believes in my vision. Or so I thought. More slides showed our wedding, Ethan joining the company as VP of Marketing, the Thompson family at company parties, being introduced to investors. What I didn't realize, I said, was that Ethan was slowly rewriting history to his family, to our friends, even to new employees. He became the founder. I became the supportive wife who helped out sometimes. "That's not," Ethan started to say. "Let me finish." I cut him off. I let it happen.
Why?
Because I loved him. Because I was exhausted from years of fighting to be taken seriously as a female founder in tech. Because it was easier to let him be the face while I did the work. But you don't do the work, Lucas protested. You're always at home with the kids. I smiled coldly. You mean the home office where I still write code? The kids I arrange childcare for during my 60-hour work weeks? The home where I take calls with our Tokyo team at 3 a.m. I pulled up another document. This is our Git repository history for the non-technical family members. This shows who writes our code. Would you like to guess what percentage has my username on it? 73%. Would you like to know Ethan's percentage? 0. Ethan finally spoke up. You manage your yoga schedule? I countered, our CFO manages the business. Our CMO manages marketing. You have a title and a salary, nothing more. Henry shouted, how dare you? How dare I? I laughed, but there was no humor in it. How dare you? You attempted to remove me as CEO of my own company. The company I built from nothing. The company that employs all of you. Oh, yes, that was the other thing. Over the years, I'd given jobs to Ethan's family. Henry was on the board. Lucas ran a satellite office. Olivia was head of HR. All nepotism hires to keep family peace. I continued, but here's the thing about being the actual founder. I own 67% of this company. Ethan owns 15%. The rest of you, your shares combined don't even hit 10%. You literally cannot vote me out. Olivia looked confused. Then why did you let us? Because I needed to know, I said quietly. I needed to see if my husband, the father of my children, would stand by me or throw me under the bus for his family's approval. You failed that test spectacularly, Ethan. Teresa, I can explain, Ethan pleaded. No need, I said. I pulled up one more document. This is a buyout offer from Microsoft. $800 million. I've been sitting on it for 6 months trying to decide. Watching Ethan take credit for my work in every interview started to bother me, but I told myself it was for the family, for the company's stability. Henry's eyes lit up with greed. 800 million. We should definitely discuss. We won't be discussing anything, I interrupted. Because as of this moment, you're all fired. Lucas jumped up. You can't fire us. We're family. You just tried to stage a coup, I pointed out. That's generally grounds for termination. Security is waiting outside to escort you from the building. Olivia turned to Ethan. Do something. Ethan looked at me, and for the first time in years, I saw real fear in his eyes. Not fear of losing his job or status, but fear of losing me. Teresa, please. Let's talk about this privately. We'll talk, I agreed, through lawyers. I want a divorce. The room erupted. Henry threatened lawsuits. Lucas threatened exposure. Olivia just cried, but I was done. 15 years of my life I'd given to this company. 7 years of marriage where I'd slowly disappeared, becoming Ethan's wife instead of Teresa Miller, tech innovator. My assistant, Jake, appeared at the door with security. Ms. Miller, should I have them escorted out? Yes, please, I said firmly. As security herded out my in-laws, Ethan lingered. The kids will be fine, I said. They'll have a mother who doesn't hide her accomplishments to protect male egos. That's worth more than an intact marriage built on lies. I never meant for it to go this far, Ethan said quietly. At first, it was just easier to let people assume. And then, I started believing my own lies. You actually started thinking you built this, that you deserve the credit, I said. I love you, he said. You love the idea of me, I corrected. The supportive wife who makes you look good. But you don't even know me. Did you know I'm keynoting at 3 conferences next month? That I just got invited to join the National Science Board. He left without another word. The divorce was messy, but quick. Ethan tried to claim he deserved half the company as marital property. My lawyer laughed and showed the judge incorporation documents predating our marriage by 7 years. Ethan got his 15% and a generous settlement. I got my freedom, the buyout offer from Microsoft. I turned it down. Instead, I took Solace Technologies public. Opening day, We hit a $2 billion valuation. My 67% stake made me one of the wealthiest self-made women in tech. The Thompson family tried to sue for wrongful termination. They lost. They tried to smear me in the press. Tech journalists who'd been following my work for years laughed at the idea that I was just a housewife who got lucky. 6 months after the divorce, I was at a Women in Tech conference when a young founder approached me. "Miss Miller, I just wanted to say thank you. Your story gave me courage to stop letting my co-founder minimize my contributions." "What happened?" I asked. "I fired him," she grinned. "And I got our biggest client the next day. Turns out they'd always thought I was the talent anyway." "Good for you," I said, meaning it. That night in my new apartment overlooking the bay, I video called my kids. They were with Ethan for the weekend, but we talked every night. "Mom, Dad says you stole the company from him," my daughter Lily said. She was 12 and too smart for her own good. "What do you think?" I asked. "I think Dad couldn't steal something that was already yours," she said. "Plus, I Googled it. Your name is on everything from before you even met Dad." "When did you get so wise?" I asked. "When I realized I was turning invisible, too," she said quietly. "Every time I did well in math, people said I got Dad's brains, even though you're the one with the MIT degree." "You're not invisible to me," I said. "I know. That's why I'm going to be like you, the real you, not the pretend housewife version." "That version wasn't pretend," I corrected gently. "I am a wife and mother. I'm just also a CEO and inventor. Women can be multiple things." "Yeah," Lily grinned.
We can be everything.
2 years later, Solace Technologies hit a $5 billion valuation. I was on the cover of Forbes, Fortune, and Wired in the same month. The headlines all mentioned that I was a single mother, but they led with my innovations, my leadership, my vision. The Thompson family meeting had been meant to diminish me, to put me in my place. Instead, it freed me. No more hiding. No more letting others take credit. No more shrinking myself to fit someone else's narrative. Henry still sends Ethan angry emails about the family fortune I stole. Lucas works at a local electronics store. Olivia became a life coach, ironically specializing in finding your authentic self. And Ethan here he married last year. A young woman who thinks he's a tech visionary down on his luck. I wanted to warn her, but some lessons you have to learn yourself. My phone buzzed. A text from Jake about another acquisition offer, this time from Google. I smiled and texted back. "Schedule a meeting." And Jake, "Make sure the conference room has better chairs than that old mahogany table. We're not a garage startup anymore." Though sometimes I miss those days. Just me, my code, and a dream. Before I learned that sometimes the biggest threat to your success isn't market competition or technical challenges. Sometimes it's the people who claim to love you while plotting your downfall around your own conference table. But every empire faces coup attempts. The strong ones survive by remembering who really holds the power. And in my company built with my code, my vision, and my long days of hard work, that would always be me. The housewife who got lucky? No. The founder who fought for her dreams.